Hey, welcome to Chrysalis Invictus. Today I have a character sketch for you. These are probably my most favorite readings to do. They are the least popular readings on my channel by far. But they're so interesting, and there's actually a lot of insight that you can get from these readings, especially if you're looking at, sometimes we go straight for the specifically romantic reading, but if you have some burning questions about a person in your life, these character sketches can really help with that. So if you, the subject today is what brings them joy, but we're going to get their story. So if you're thinking of a person, this could be yourself. Maybe you're asking the question, what brings me joy? And that's okay too, but I'm going to be talking about it as if it's another person, so just keep that in mind. And I'm using Lenormand decks, and the Lenormand decks are really great for storytelling, for uncovering where someone comes from, what they're into, that whole thing. So without further ado, if you want to get yourself connected to this reading, I have 4 different piles. So the first pile is represented by the merchant. The second is represented by the enemy, sweetheart, and falseness with the cat here. So making your selection, I will meet you at your pile. All right, so welcome to your pile. First off, the impressions that I'm getting from merchants are that this person is really happy when they do something transactional that feels like it really worked out. So if they feel like they got a great deal, if they feel like they found something that's really high quality, this person may be a super shopper, or if not that, just someone who really values finding things. This can be someone who at a thrift shop or auction always finds that cool or interesting thing. This is someone that really is connected to objects in almost a spiritual way. And it brings them a lot of joy to find these things, to be able to hunt them out and to be able to find those deals or to find those quality things or those unique items. This could also be someone who would take a lot of joy from going abroad and finding things there. So like when traveling, going to different markets and finding different goods in that way. If this is you, or if this is someone who doesn't have an established career, being someone who does that job for a living, being a buyer would be potentially very satisfying for this person. Okay, let's take a look at... Yeah, and they take a lot of pride in their work. So let's see what else we can know about our friend here, the merchant. What brings them joy? L'amour. Love. Okay, so this is someone who really likes a bouquet of fresh cut flowers. This is someone who really likes to express themselves with gifting and to be gifted. But they are especially, there's very Taurus energy here. They value a sensual experience. They love and being loved and gifting and being gifted. All of that brings them so much joy. I feel like this is a kind of person where you may not know how overfilled with love they are, but they will show it materially. They will definitely show their love in a material way. Okay, and this person, yeah, and I saw that before. This person gets a lot of joy from traveling, exploration, getting a bit of a Sagittarius energy as well as the Taurus. This may resonate, may not. But, oh, okay, so there's an additional message here about objects or things from childhood. So this is a person who would take a lot of joy from inheriting something beautiful, or, you know, some of their prized possessions or things that are handed down. They really value that. But there's this sense of exploration, of travel, of it's almost like these are the ways that they balance their emotions as well. So it's not just that they love these things, it's really important for their well-being to travel and to express themselves or to discover objects and things like that. Tower. Okay, so again with the Sagittarius, there's this like philosophy vibe here. So this person really appreciates philosophy, higher philosophies on life, spirituality, you know, all the things that philosophies, all the packages philosophies come in. But there's definitely this feeling of like they like a challenge, they like to ascend, they like to discover new things, which we saw from the very beginning. They like to discover with objects, but we also have the mental discovery here too. Like things that are a puzzle or things that are going to be a big mental challenge. There's kind of this like it awakens them. It gets the blood flowing, you know. All right, what else? I guess with the rider. This is someone who potentially only goes into nature with purpose. So this is not someone who just goes for a walk without a destination. But it brings them a lot of joy to have a reason to go somewhere or a reason to do something. So I see that here with the rider. Again, I'm getting something about quality clothing. Number 1. Now it's getting interesting. Okay, so this person there's someone who takes a lot of joy from overcoming obstacles, from discovering fallacies, from discovering truth as well. Like there's a... This is a person who chases an ideal. Okay, and with this snake, there's this sense of dominion, and with the rider, there's this sense of dominion that I'm getting. So whether this is a dominion over nature or a dominion over powerful things that are greater than themselves. They really like to feel that energy and to overcome adversity. This person really takes joy in their accomplishments. So what does this mean? This means that if you're in connection with this person, not acknowledging something that they've overcome could make them feel unseen. So you could help to make them feel seen by acknowledging or engaging in those discussions about philosophy, understanding that this is what makes them truly happy. I mean, only if that's what you're interested in, right? But also, if they have been through something really difficult or hard, they would really love to hear that they've done well. Or you could gift about it, because we know they like the gifts. Yeah, so I feel like there's this ability within this person to navigate more earthly things and to they're definitely a grounded person. They're grounded in both intellect and material object, but they definitely have struggles. Like, none of these things are through easy waters, if you will. It's not through an easy life that they come to joy. In fact, sometimes I feel like joy might be difficult for them to accept. So that's just something to keep in mind. I'm going to leave it there for you, pile number 1. Thank you so much for joining. And if you'd like to book a personal reading, my information is down below, as well as links to my yoga and meditation classes and all my other offerings. All right, take care. Pile number 2, welcome. You have the Enemy. So this person as a child really liked to play hide and go seek. They really like the thrill of the chase. They really like the thrill of the seek. And this has continued on into their adult life. They're always looking for something. They're always looking for something. They're always looking for something or wanting to be looked for. They, if you are able to see and acknowledge qualities in them that are unique, this person is going to be really excited about that. It brings them a lot of joy to create false adversaries. So pretending that someone or something is their enemy, this may be something that they joke about a lot. But really what I'm getting overall is that they like to be surprising. And they like to be surprised. So they really value that in relationships to other people. And in life in general. They want life to be surprising and interesting and funny. I'm getting that there's a sense of humor here as well. Okay, we have hearts. That's interesting. Okay, so this person gets a lot of joy from love. I feel like there's this idea of cosmic love, that this person feels a lot of joy when they think about soulmates, or when they think about a love that is connected to a bigger picture or a greater story. And they get a lot of joy from being part of eclectic groups of people. I'm just going to pull, I feel like for you guys I need to pull all of the cards and then read from there. So with the lady, I'm getting also that there's, they get a lot of joy connecting with feminine energy. They may really love their mother or love mother energy. This could also mean that they love being a mother. And even if that's not to, you know, a child or something, it's to their friends, to the people that they're close to. And they love challenges, organizing, and more women. Okay. So this is for me feminine energy. This is women. Okay. Yeah, so we have a person here who is a, I want to say eclectic. So, and they really value this about themselves, and they like to be unique. Sometimes for the sake of being unique, they will make choices or decisions, but it's really about that love of variety and that love of seeking something new, chasing something new, discovering something, not even new, but just discovering something that you already liked before. So this is someone who really gets excited when they've discovered an ice cream flavor that they forgot they loved. They're going to get really excited to remember that, and really excited to try it again or have it again in their lives. This is going to be something that makes them really excited. Maybe it's not ice cream, but something along those lines. They could quite literally enjoy things like hiking or mountain climbing for that thrill of the chase, thrill of the conquering, you know, even things that are known. This is someone who likes to top their own personal best. So actually, when I say new, I feel like this is not someone who necessarily needs new things, but they like to revisit or review things that were already existing and see them as new, if that makes sense. So they want to, you know, they're not necessarily climbing different mountain trails. They're going on the same trail each time and discovering something new about themselves or that trail on the way. And that's sort of like, take that as a metaphor or as something literal, depending on who this is about. With the lady and with the lady and the lady. So this like feminine mothering energy here. And then this is more of a, so what brings them joy is feminine energy mothering, but also this like female sovereignty, female identified spaces. You know, I do feel like sexually the preference here is women, for sure. Women bring them a lot of joy. So this can be like the shape of a woman, the smell of a woman, the whole, or, you know, and that's with this here. So that's the woman. And then this is like the feminine energies or the mothering energy. So this is something that is like, this is loving their mother, loving connecting with other people's mothers. This is being a mother themselves, or being that mother energy. And then with the garden, there's this, and bouquet, there's this sense of arranging beautiful things. So I get that this person gets a lot of joy from decorating their home. Again, maybe not moving homes, maybe not changing homes a lot, but having beautiful things in the home. I'm getting a Libra energy here. and Cancer. So there's this sense of their emotions also being something that they like to kind of organize. They may like to express their emotions and their joy through song or through art in some way rather than speak of them. I'm not getting that this is a person who necessarily dialogues about their feelings a whole lot. Yeah. So ultimately what brings this person joy is transcendent love and harmony. It is an arrangement of beautiful things around them that they can continuously rearrange. So using the same materials to create something different. So if this is cooking, they would use the same ingredients and create different recipes with the same ingredients, that kind of thing, or that could be the metaphor. We see them getting a lot of joy from their mother or from being a mother, from connecting in with this mother energy. They enjoy a challenge. They enjoy things that they cannot see yet. But again, I'm feeling like this relates to somewhere they've already been. So maybe they've accomplished something over and over and over again, and then this thing that they've accomplished so many different times kind of changes or shifts, and then they have to challenge themselves again to figure it out. So that's something that they appreciate. And arranging things, and quite literally this person loves flowers. Okay, so they love flowers, they love nature, they love mountains, they love gardens, they love women, they love mothers, they love organizing, arranging, decorating. And they tend to occupy a somewhat, externally this may look like a very simple space. Like there isn't a whole lot going on. So maybe this is a kind of person who could exist very calmly and peacefully, probably in a suburban area where they, can fully immerse themselves in this kind of transitional space between nature, meaning that they have a garden for their home, or if they don't have that wherever they live, they'll seek that out, that kind of organized natural space. But ultimately, they really enjoy things that make them feel feminine. So, or being around that kind of energy. So like, nail salons, hair salons, like that kind of like stereotypical feminine. This person really gets a lot of joy from being in those spaces and from seeing those things. It like makes them happy when people get, their nails done or something, because to them that's like the ultimate thing. Like if they were, if someone was feeling down, they would want to gift something like that, because to them that's what would make them feel better. So if this person is sort of low or struggling, they're going to feel a lot better if they get pampered, that kind of thing. There could be a propensity for gossip here a little bit with the enemy and all the other cards, that there's this kind of, they like to sort of talk about other people. That's definitely present here. but I feel like it's more like listen about other people. I don't feel like this person is much of a talker, but I do think that they like to know the gossip. So I think that maybe even being in those spaces where they get to kind of know what's going on with other people, that brings them a lot of joy. All right, so I'm going to leave you there, pile number 2. Thank you so much for joining. I hope this was interesting or helpful. Please leave me a comment down below if you'd like to book a personal reading, check out my classes, donate to my tuition fund for going back to school. All of that is down below. Take care. And pile number 3, welcome to your readings. So you chose Sweethearts. And right off the bat, what brings this person joy? This person gets a lot of joy from receiving messages from their loved ones, receiving communication. This person definitely gets a lot of joy from words of affirmation. They like to be told they're doing a good job. They like to be told they're loved. And usually when people like that, they also like giving that. So this is someone who may be, I'm hearing flowery speech. They're also really, they get a lot of joy from new clothes or the clothes that they wear. Sorry, just need to take a drink of tea. And yeah, so this person really enjoys fresh, light things. So fresh, light fabrics, fresh, light foods, fresh, light everything. So when they are, what they love or what brings them joy is when things are fresh and light and they just have this beautiful, airy quality to them. It's like the way that breakfast feels when you're on vacation, as opposed to the way breakfast is as a utility meal before you go to work. So, yeah, there's this, this person loves love, and they get a lot of joy from that kind of airy feeling of love. So some people, when there's that, like, you know, when you fall in love with someone and you're like it's almost dizzying, like you feel like the whirlwind feeling. This is someone who loves that. They thrive on that. So they're going to want to feel that way. Let's see what else we can know. What brings this person joy? The sweetheart. What brings the sweetheart joy? We have number 20, garden. Okay, so what I'm getting from this is organized chaos. This person gets a lot of joy from the idea of organizing chaos or bringing something into I don't have the words right now. I'm going to try and figure that out. Okay, so they get a lot of joy from lovemaking, sex, nest building, the whole relationship process. I mean, with Sweetheart, we were bound to go that way. But I'm also getting this feeling of like, they get a lot of joy from being close to people who have a lot of power, is what I'm getting. Okay, and we have the lady. Number 29. I think I'm going to pull all of the cards and then do a reading for you, because that's how it feels here right now. There's a lot of similarities between piles. Well, not a lot of similarities, but there's just interesting kind of themes that are popping up today. We have the fox. They really enjoy word puzzles, banter, witty kind of discourse, like an Oscar Wilde kind of vibe. That's what I'm getting. The stars. Yeah, this person loves and feels very comfortable with airy things. They may be more sort of attracted to a love and light kind of spirituality, or, you know, practice that kind of, we're not getting into the shadows of this person, but let's just say that there can be a tendency to avoid the shadow side of things in them. And then the owls. Okay, so this is someone who really enjoys nighttime. They get a lot of joy from the experiences that you can have at night. So there's all different kinds of experiences here. I can see that they really appreciate love making, baby making, a sort of, this is someone who would get a lot of joy from, I know this is kind of jumping, but from the ballet. Or watching people dance. I feel like this person really is moved by that. They're also, they get a lot of joy from potentially watching other people and how they move. So if there's someone that has a unique way of moving, they're going to really appreciate that. That's something that they would really notice and be very interested in watching. I feel like my camera is on this angle that I just can't make everything straight with. Okay. So what else? So with the lady, we have someone who really appreciates and gets a lot of joy from feminine energy. I think that they like to embody feminine space. So they like to be treated as feminine. They like to be treated as delicate in a sense, maybe not in a condescending way, but, you know, with gentleness. They like to be treated with gentleness, and they like to have gentle things around them. But I do see a lot of joy here from that wittiness, that banter, that ability to kind of like figure out spaces between. Excuse me, I gotta take a drink. And this person gets a lot of joy from looking up at the night sky, from being under the stars. I think there's also an interest here, if even just lightly, in astrology. And with the owls here, a love of wisdom. Again, I'm getting this feeling of higher wisdom, of something that they like pleasant philosophies, is what I'm hearing. Pleasant philosophies. So this may be someone who reads like Rumi or Rupi or I actually don't know the names. But there's a lot of that kind of like being love, being light, that kind of philosophy in this world. They like those sorts of things. And things that make the ideas that make things simpler and more organized and neat and tidy. But again, it's all about lifting that weight and staying in that lighter space. This person loves a good, clear night, summer nights. And so if you're thinking about how can I bring them joy, or how can I understand the way that they, what brings them joy, there's definitely, date ideas would be to definitely take them out underneath the stars. But or going to gardens. This could be someone who really appreciates going to visit like manor houses and things like that, where you get to be close to that kind of like feeling of power and nice things and gardens and all of that. But if this person gets a lot of joy from higher ideals. I'm getting an Aquarius energy, okay? Higher ideals. If you're going to come to them with something, they're going to really appreciate something that is from the highest perspective, a zoomed out perspective. That brings them a lot of joy to speak about things in that way. When you start getting down into the muck, that's not necessarily a space that they may feel comfortable in. Okay, so I think I'm going to leave it there for you, pile number 3. I hope this was interesting. Leave me a comment down below. I have a whole playlist of these, so if you didn't discover what you were looking for, there's lots more, and this is the shortest of all of the ones that I've done, the least in-depth and the shortest. So check out that playlist. My information is in the description box below, and we'll see you soon. Hello. So, pile number 4, you chose falseness with this cat. And immediately what I'm getting from this is this person gets a lot of joy from being the center of attention, but only when they want to be. So they like to disappear and they like to reappear, and when they reappear, they want to be greeted with a lot of love and attention and just sort of like unwavering loyalty and nurturing that they themselves do not necessarily show others. So they're sort of like, I'm gonna go have a nap, but it might not suit them or serve them if they're with someone who has naps, because then if they wake up, then that would be, that person not paying attention to them, or they really value attention. They get a lot of joy from attention. I'm not saying this in a bad way, this is just how they are. Okay. I think I'm going to use the old-fashioned Lenormand. We're going to see what else we can know, what brings this person joy. Okay, so this person gets a lot of joy from emotional experiences. So they may like to watch movies that make them cry. They may like to read things that make them feel things. This is someone who really likes to think and talk about emotions. They feel a lot of joy in that kind of connection with others. There's also this feeling of being close to water. So they get a lot of joy from being close to water. They may get some joy quite literally from fishing. They love love. They get a lot of joy from being loved, but having space in that love, having freedom in that love. Okay, so this is someone who really gets a lot of joy from connecting with masculine energy. They like to be close to or have a lot of friends that have really masculine energy. But even in themselves, when they are in this masculine energy, this is where they're most comfortable. So this could be someone that gets a lot of joy from being very hands-on. Crossroads. They like to have choices. There's a lot of freedom, a lot of choices, a lot of I want to be able to go here. I'm almost getting a musician vibe as well in this pile. That they want to be able to go where they want to go. and have, they get a lot of joy from being financially, again, more wandering, from being financially independent or independent in general. So they do, while they value having other people sort of almost at their beck and call, I don't know that this person would like me to say that. While they appreciate having that, they also want a lot of freedom and the ability to wander. But again, I'm getting this feeling of like being close to water is really, really important for them. Being close to water, expressing feelings, navigating feelings, especially this is someone who will get a lot of joy from figuring out their emotions. So they may really intellectualize or like the study of psychology or philosophies related to psychology and understanding themselves and others. Lilies. Yeah, and so there's this this quality about them. They get a lot of joy from being big, from taking up space, from attention from masculine energy really, really helps and fuels this this person. But they really like ultimately to have peace. So they don't really want to be challenged about these freedoms that they enjoy. They don't really, this isn't someone who would necessarily enjoy disagreeing in an argument. You know how sometimes people really like to argue? This is not someone who likes to argue. This is someone who likes to work through things and challenge things, but not in that way. With the lilies, I'm really getting this feeling of like, again, there's a lot of intellect in this pile. So being in this kind of, when they are in their intellectual, or when they are, dealing with ideas, and this could be, things that have been written down and mutually agreed upon. I hesitate to use the word truth for anything, but truth. So when they're dealing with things like that, it's a way of kind of understanding the emotions, but it also sort of can have a tendency to circumnavigate those emotions. But this is how they process. Like, this is how they like to see the world. They like to, get in there and figure things out. I'm really feeling like this person values or gets a lot of joy from spontaneous plans and from having choices, but also taking many different paths. So this could be someone who would have a lot of different jobs, or a lot of eclectic kind of jobs, a lot of eclectic experiences. This sort of, I'm thinking of like an outdoor cat that kind of goes and they'll get fed at someone else's house, and they do have like a kind of primary home base, but they're sort of just wandering around the neighborhood, and when it's convenient, they want to be unseen. When it's always on their terms to be seen or unseen. But when they are seen, feed them, pay attention to them, dote on them. So they like a lot of attention and then no attention. They want to be able to just slink into the background and disappear. And that kind of life really, really suits them. Okay, and it's interesting with the man here because that kind of masculine energy, without analyzing them too much, although they would really appreciate that, they really like self-analysis and analyzing others. But so there's a strong Mercury energy here. Who rules? Mercury rules Gemini and Virgo. It doesn't have to mean anything, but with the masculine energy, it's interesting because masculine energy tends to be more accepting of this kind of like way of being, in the sense that when you think of a more communal experience, someone who is disappearing and cannot kind of like on their terms isn't really the kind of person who is going to fully commit to something communal, I guess. Like, their role in a society is very masculine when it comes to this kind of energy. So whether they're a man or not, their energy is masculine, and they also really appreciate masculine energies, masculine spaces as well. Even if they are more feminine, or if they identify as a woman, they would still like to be the most feminine person in those spaces. They like to be different for sure. Yeah, so what brings this person joy? I think a lot of thinking. A lot of thinking brings this person joy. They get joy from relationships that have a lot of freedom, from conquering or navigating their emotions, analyzing, analysis, psychoanalysis, psychology, that kind of thing. And ultimately, I do feel like this person is striving toward peace. So I feel like if they've had a lot of turmoil in their life, this is someone who is driven to understand that turmoil, and they actually get joy from overcoming those sorts of things and coming into a place of harmony and peace. So I'm going to leave it there for you. I hope this was interesting. Leave me a comment down below. And you can like, subscribe, visit the links down below for personal readings, yoga and meditation classes, or donate to my school fund. I would really appreciate that. So take care.